Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Footballology. So today was the first day of the scouting combine, and it was pretty solid of a day. The offensive lineman going into the situation, I wasn't 100% sure on. A lot of people kept saying it, but I kind of want to see the whole class for myself of offensive linemen. And so going into the day, pretty much it proved everything that I thought. In my personal opinion, I think you're going to have anywhere to 4 to 5 actual first round offensive linemen that you're going to feel comfortable taking there, and then you're going to see them sporadically placed throughout the rest of the draft. Um, a couple of guys that obviously showed up was Forrest Lamp, definitely looked solid, looked good. Dan Feeney, he looked good. Antonio Garcia, he looked good. A guy that I was personally high on, and I started to realize that throughout the broadcast that they also became high on was Ethan Cooper from IUP. I think he was a guy that looked really good in his position drills. He only put up 26 on the bench, so he didn't look that impressive there as far as strength wise. But I felt like they kept saying guard, but in my mind, I kept seeing him as a center. And just right off the top, I haven't watched anything on him or anything like that. I felt like that he was a Rodney Hudson comparisons. The guy that can definitely play the center position with a lot of strength and power, with leverage more or less with his size. And I just don't. I don't know. I just felt like that's where he should have been. He was definitely a guy that I was high on throughout the process, and I just kept consistently watching, and he just kept, pretty much in my opinion, performing really well for me. Another guy that I'm kind of like side noting was Connor McDermott from UCLA. He was a guy that I felt like that showed glimpses that he can be that kind of quality guy, a guy that you can get in the second or third round. But for the most part, outside of the top, I say 3 or 4 offensive linemen that you see, interior or out guys. Cam Robinson was another guy that was big time. But outside of all those guys, uh, there was no actual clean cut offensive lineman. Like usually we get a couple of guys that we feel comfortable with, but anything I think outside of Feeney, Robinson, Garcia, and Lamp, you're kind of reaching. Even Cooper, I feel like can go in the second round, but I feel like you're going to be reaching if you take those guys in the first round. Maybe depending on certain areas of the second round and depending on the team. But those are guys that I feel like that they're going to for sure go in the first round. They did everything they were supposed to. Came to the combine, looked really well, looked fluent in their position drills, took care of business, and then just every other offensive lineman in this class. It's crazy because a lot of them have that foundation that you need for a good offensive lineman, but a lot of them are just missing that technique. So coaching is going to become a big part. If you feel like your team or your staff can coach these guys up and should be in quality offensive linemen, you will get another anywhere from 5 to 10 good offensive linemen out of this class because of the foundation that's so strong with a lot of these guys. So coaching is going to come into the play and just the overall team and where you guys are drafting and what your team looks like currently. So that was really all I had from the offensive line standpoint today. A couple of spotlight guys, and then we had the running backs come to the field, and pretty much you had your big three. You had McCaffrey, you had Fournette, and you had Cook, and those guys pretty much showed up and took care of business. They kept talking about Fournette's 240 and how he showed up to the combine fairly heavy, and he said he was still going to run and all that good stuff. He ran a 4.51, looked really good in that 4.51. Like it was a really fast 4.51. Like it didn't look like just an average 4.51. McCaffrey and Cook looked really good as well in their position drills. Catch the ball fairly decently. I think personally it was crazy because throughout the whole time they were doing the catching drills, you could tell that Fournette was just in the back of his mind, like I just don't want to drop these balls, like because he knows when it comes to it, at the end of the day, that's not going to be where he's going to make his money. He's going to make his money between the tackles, outside the tackles, and making home run runs, and that's pretty much it. Another guy I was looking at, Wayne Gallum. You guys probably seen him in my spotlight video. He was a guy that I was really high on. Didn't wow me. He didn't he didn't take care of everything I thought he was going to take care of. He didn't just destroy the combine like I felt like he was. And not so much destroy it, but just definitely stand out and kind of slide up the draft boards a little bit more. A guy did start to slide, a guy did not slide, but a guy that started to raise up on the draft boards was Kamar. And Kamara, and he jumped out of the gym. It was crazy. They showed his 40 time, or his vert, and he just, dude just bounced up. It was crazy how he just jumped up so high. Didn't do so well on the 40 time, but definitely looked solid in his position drills. They kept trying to squeeze him into the first round, but he's a guy that I personally don't feel like I would take first round, definitely second round guy, second day. That I would feel comfortable taking him there. If I took him in the second round, like if you were the Cleveland Browns, for instance, and you had the second round pick somewhere up at the top part of the draft in the second round, I would definitely be okay with them taking him there. But definitely would not take him in the first round, not even in the later parts of the first round, because there's going to be a lot of other quality players, especially on the defensive side of the ball, which you're going to see Sunday and Monday, that you probably can get squeezed in there until Kamara's going to slide out. But I think the big three are definitely going to go there. Cook, McCaffrey, and Fournette are definitely going to be in the first round comfortably with some of the teams that actually are needing and wanting a running back. A little side note, I kept telling people, I have this theory that where Oakland is right now, I feel like Oakland's ready to buy in. And by doing that, I think they're going to trade away a good percentage of their draft and next year's draft maybe to get up there high enough to go get a Fournette. I say Fournette, and the reason why I stick with Fournette, or they're either going to go play for AP in a free agency. I'm not sure if they have the money, but for the most part, I feel like they do. They don't have too many big contracts as of right now off the top of the head that I can think of. So I think AP or Fournette are the perfect backs for what Oakland wants to do. And the reason why I say that is because this year, Tennessee and Oakland offensive line, there were two offensive lines that look very similar to each other. They're big, heavy offensive linemen that can lean on you late in the game and in the run game. And I feel like that they need a guy like Leonard Fournette or a AP to do some of those things, because you've seen what Tennessee did with DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. So I feel like Fournette is a play for Oakland. I feel it in my bones. Like, I feel like it's a possibility. I would say the percentage is on there about 70 to 80% chance that Oakland goes up and try to get Fournette somehow, some way. Don't know how, but I feel like that's an opportunity for them, or they're going to make a play on the AP in the free agency. Dalvin Cook, once again, he's a guy that I think that's going to obviously go in the first round. Oh, James Conner from Pitt, that guy definitely showed up. He's a bigger back. I don't know if he plans on losing weight, losing about 10 pounds or so, but I feel like if he loses about 10 pounds, puts on a little bit more, some more clean muscle, if you will, or clean weight, if you will, it'd be really interesting as a starting running back in the NFL. I think he could probably be the primary back with a change of pace back, backing him up, and definitely be a guy that can help a lot of teams out there. Jamal Williams is a guy I've been fighting myself with personally. I've been back and forth. I'm like a fan of Jamal Williams, but then I'm not a fan of Jamal Williams, and it's just, I don't know why. I can't ever settle in on him. That was pretty much it for the most part for day one. The running back class is deep, but I feel like with the running back class, you got to be very selective of who you pick if you're some of these teams, because some of these running backs are going to fit what you want to do, and you're going to try to make these running backs do what you want them to do, if that makes any sense. But I'm not sure if that's a possibility, and I feel like a lot of teams are probably going to mess around and do that, take a guy and try to make them fit what they do, and not so much take the guy that fits what they do, if that makes sense. But that's all I have for the first day of the NFL Combine. If you're not a footballologist yet, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel now and become a footballologist today. Come back tomorrow so we can recap day two. Day two is going to be exciting. There's about 2 or 3 guys I'm really excited to see, and I've spotlighted. If you guys go back and watch my offensive Combine spotlight video. But tomorrow's going to be good. Tomorrow's going to be really interesting. The real skill positions come out there, not the running backs and the offensive linemen, not skill positions. But, the guys that are getting the paydays, if you will, are going to be out there. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens tomorrow. And then I'm excited for Sunday as well. Sunday, I love D linemen and linebackers. I think that's where the money is for me. If I was ever an NFL owner or somewhere in that position, if you will, it would definitely be spending a lot of money on the front seven. I feel like the front seven goes underrated sometimes on the defensive side of the ball. But Sunday is going to be exciting. Anyways, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay safe, football fans.